Hello there, viewers. It's been a pretty long time since my last podcast, I have to admit. I haven't had a lot of time to go see movies, so I've been just kind of busy catching up and finishing up my senior year. So, to close out the year, I would like to talk about summer movies that are coming out that I'm very excited for. I just saw The Avengers this past weekend. I was blown away by it. Directed by Joss Whedon. Had all the characters from the previous Marvel movies, and I have to say it was the best, it was the best one out of all of them compared to the first Iron Man. All the characters were great. Robert Downey Jr. is always good as Iron Man. Tony Stark. Chris Evans is fantastic as Captain America. But the one person who stole the show, I thought, in this movie was Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. And even though I did enjoy The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton in it, I felt like Mark Ruffalo took over a good job. He took over the reins after Norton and really took the character in a new direction that seems the best for it. And I hope we get to see a Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo in it by himself. Joss Whedon wrote the script, and Joss Whedon's very known in the film and comic community as a good writer, a fantastic writer, one who's dedicated to very character storylines that are very driven and very working as a team. He's responsible for the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, and I believe he wrote the show Firefly, which was on for one season, and then the movie Serenity came out, which it's a great sci-fi western movie, and series, which I recommend if you are into that type of stuff. So just the combination of all the characters now, I mean, the fact that they're able to combine all these characters from all their own movies into one film is an achievement in its own. But I mean, they've been building this since like 2008. And they really did a really good job with it. The effects were great. The story was simple. People weren't hammered down by like all the other storylines of all the other movies. They were just one central plot, one central goal, and it worked out great. I mean, it was hilarious. I was impressed by the fact that there was so much humor in the movie. I really wish there wasn't so much humor, because like, after like all the jokes, like there was just more jokes after that, and so but you couldn't hear the jokes in the theater because everybody was just laughing hysterically at the jokes that were going right now. So it's definitely, I recommend going back for multiple viewings. Even though it's like $10, maybe you should go like skip school a day, or go out and go see the $5 movies that are before 12 o'clock. I recommend that. I'm definitely going to go see this movie again. And I cannot wait for the next Avengers 2 and probably the Captain America 2, Iron Man 3, and all the other superhero movies that are going to come out. And definitely, they need to do a Mark Ruffalo Hulk film. Just like go watch this movie and see Mark Ruffalo and say like, okay, this was impressive. Other movies that are coming out, and right now, since Avengers right now is shattering the box office, we have The Dark Knight Rises coming out in July, which I believe personally is going to be a better film than The Avengers, even though I was very impressed with The Avengers. Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors, and just the way he directs a film and writes a film, the scripts that he does with David S. Goyer and Jonathan Nolan, his brother, have just been phenomenal. They have reinvented the superhero movie film. Like The Dark Knight is one of the pinnacle of what it means, of showing how a superhero film and just a film about society and a film about the world itself can just coincide together and just like mesh so well and just really show a cool commentary on our society. And I believe The Dark Knight Rises is going to be the next level of that. It's going to have Tom Hardy as Bane in it, Selena Kyle's played by Anne Hathaway, and Christian Bale's returning, Michael Caine's returning, Morgan Freeman's returning. Like all the players from The Dark Knight are returning except for the Joker, who is played by Heath Ledger. But I believe this film is just going to take it to new heights. I believe the story is just going to be exciting. It's gonna show just what Christopher Nolan wanted to show when he started Batman Begins back in 2005. So I'm very excited for that movie. Other movies that are coming out, Ridley Scott is returning to the sci-fi genre with Prometheus, and this is kind of a quasi prequel to his original 1979 film Alien, which if you haven't seen that, I recommend that. That's a great horror film, and I'm not a person who likes horror films, but that one is just fantastic in the way suspense is shown, and I like suspense. I'm not like a person who likes people getting killed and blood showing everywhere and stuff, but like just the suspense of it all, that's what I like. And the 1979 Alien still holds up to this day, and I recommend you go see that film. And this one, Prometheus, I just read an article yesterday that's going to be rated R, so it's going to be very violent and very cool, like the original 1979 Alien, and it's gonna involve and just has a lot of really award-winning actors or a lot I should not award-winning, but up and coming who will be award-winning actors. We have the girl who with the dragon tattoo, original one, the Swedish version, Naomi Race, I think, or Naomi Pace, I'm not sure. I forget her last name, but she was in Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, and now she's the lead character in this new Ridley Scott sci-fi film, and it takes place on this planet. Now the ship from Alien is in it, but I don't know how it fits into the Alien like lineage, because like Ridley Scott's been going off saying like this is a different movie, but I mean just from the trailer there's so many similarities to the movie Alien that it looks going to be interesting how they do it, how they pull it all together, and I'm really interested because for me when I first saw Alien, I was always interested in seeing how the alien eggs got on that ship, or why they were on that ship, or why this alien ship was there in the first place, and why was it really damaged. And in this movie, we're actually going to find out why, or maybe Ridley Scott will just do something different and make it all a dream. Who knows? But that movie's going to be coming out in June. Dark Knight Rises is coming out in July. We have The Bourne Legacy, done by Tony Gilroy. That's going to be coming out later in like around August time, which is the new Bourne movie with Jeremy Renner. He's become an up-and-coming star since The Hurt Locker, and he's taking over the reins for Matt Damon. He plays a new character. Edward Norton plays the villain, and it just shows a lot of the same stuff that we all come to know and love from a Bourne film, and I'm excited for it. Even though Matt Damon isn't in it, but I hopefully maybe someday Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner will do a Bourne movie together, and that would just be pure awesomeness. We have The Expendables 2 coming out, and that with Sylvester Stallone and everybody from every action movie ever created. So that alone should just make sure you go see it, because it's got Chuck Norris and Jean-Claude Van Damme. So definitely recommend that one. And finally, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, which is a reboot of the Spider-Man franchise. Now, it's directed by Mark Webb, who I'm a fan of his work. He directed 500 Days of Summer, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel do a fantastic job in that movie. And when he took over the reins over Sam Raimi, I was okay with it, because like at first it was just going to be like Sony producing their own film, but now they got Mark Webb. They got Andrew Garfield, who was in the Social Network, and I was always impressed with his work in The Social Network. And they have Emma Stone playing Gwen Stacy, and J. Jonah Jameson isn't in it, but it's just kind of a retelling of the Spider-Man origin, a new Spider-Man movie. It shows how he's got web shooters, and I believe Andrew Garfield, he's just funny. He's got that character that was missing. Not that I didn't like Tobey Maguire's portrayal of Peter Parker, but there was always something missing from his character, and I believe that Andrew Garfield is just got that flame that just is Peter Parker. He's just got that character he's got it nailed down, where it's like he's a loner, but he's also his world perspective like allows him to have humor, and he's very funny in this movie. I've just watched a couple trailers, and already there are some jokes in there that weren't jokes that you expect Tobey Maguire to say. They were like, Tobey Maguire was more of a serious actor, and he's more of an awkward, you felt sorry for him, and that made the movie funny, and that's why I like Spider-Man 2 so much. This one, he's really sarcastic. He's really he just talks, and he talks while he is like saving the day, and that's what Spider-Man is. That's who Spider-Man is, and it's got the lizard in it, and I'm gonna impressed to see how they do it, because it's got a new origin story about about Peter's parents leaving him, and Uncle Ben and Mary and Aunt May are both in it, and we'll see what happens. Mary Jane Watson isn't in it, so we'll have to see how that happens. But I'm impressed. I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it. Now, when it comes to go seeing a movie in 3D, I don't like 3D. I'll probably say if a movie's not made for 3D, I'm not going to see it. So for The Hobbit, I'll probably go see it in 3D when it comes out in December. But in other situations, I recommend staying away from the 3D, just because you spend so much more money for like a darkened room and maybe a little more depth when it comes to your viewing your movie. And that's not a bad thing. If you like that, go spend the extra money for it. But for me, like if you just want to go see a really good film and with really good characters, then just pay the $10 that you usually pay, and go see a movie in 2D. That's why Christopher Nolan's not a big fan of 3D. He's like, well, I'm not going to make my people go spend my money to get all this camera work to do all this stuff when really I can use an IMAX camera, which is there's like 4 I think in the world, or maybe 5. I'm not sure on the numbers of that. But like he shoots them in IMAX, and he makes sure it's like the quality of the film is very crisp and clear and ready for his viewers to watch and enjoy. So that's what I have. I hope you guys enjoy your summer, and it's been an awesome past semester being able to do these podcasts from time to time about movies. And please check back at VHStoday.com because we have a lot of stuff coming up on the iFocus page, and it's going to be really cool for the end of the year. So thanks again.